Many of you, when I stepped in the council chambers this morning, y'all noticed I didn't have my goatee. That was Malcolm X's birthday, and I wrote my thesis on him in college, and one of the quotes he had is that if you aren't careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. And I think we had a lot of that in the last 2 months. Again, human beings. And again, I say this, and I said it before, you know, when he came back from his pilgrimage from Africa, he talked about going to the UN because of the human rights that were being, of the people who were being oppressed here in the U.S. This is very dear to me. We talked about 30 years ago what happened in the council and being on the right side. But one of the things that we allowed the misinformation to get out. I don't know how we could have done a little bit better, Mayor. I'm not blaming anyone, but they just took the ball and ran with it. And so if this ordinance passes today, we need to make sure that we're out telling Houstonians what this ordinance is about. Not just us, but, you know, you have to do it as well. It's not just the mayor's bathroom ordinance that the pastor put on this website today. And I just wish we can have a come to Jesus meeting about that. It's about protecting the citizens in Houston, especially in District B. And when I look at the African American males, and that's how I look at it, you know, I look at my district and see what's the problem, what the problems are, and discrimination is a problem for them. And when I look at the African males in my district and the discriminatory practices that are taken out on them, I have no choice but to support this this ordinance. When people ask me, they say, well, why don't you, you know, aren't you scared about your girls going into the restroom? And again, I had the first conversation I had with Councilman Cohen. That was the first thing that popped in my mind. But then I understood, and I began to talk to other people. I need to do a better job of parenting and make sure that nothing like that happens to them if that does come about. But I also looked at my son, 9-year-old African-American male who probably will go through some of the same discriminatory practices that I've gone that has been acted out on me, and I want a better city for him. And so the answer again to the other people who've asked me about my kids, so it's yes, I have thought about it, and I've come to this decision today based upon taking a poll of District B. Also, again, thanking the NAACP for this letter of support. And again, wanting to make this a better city for my son as well as others. And for those who are out there going around threatening me as it relates to, we won't vote for you, that's fine. If that's the way you choose to feel. I love serving District B. And I'm pretty sure the people of District B like me serving them. And we'll move forward together for the ones who didn't, you know, who's not accepting of my vote. But this is not it, Mayor. I know we've talked about this, David Feldman, we've talked about this. We need to talk about a reentry. As I look at District B and the people who are being discriminated against, those felons, those people who've been incarcerated, who are having a hard time coming out there. So Ellen, it won't be you pushing that, it'll be me pushing this. Because this is what's needed in District B, and that's why I ran, that's why I knocked on over 3,000 doors to ask for the vote, and they reciprocated and they voted for me and put me in office. And so again, I won't be bothered by idle threats. And and if I don't have the Ministers Alliance, you know, it'll just be the third time in a row that I won't have that support. But I appreciate that. But the ministers who do support me, and you know who you are, as I visit the churches every Sunday, I thank you for praying for me and praying with me as I make this vote instead of casting stones at me. Thank you.
Councilmember Green.